Tonight we report on a second drive-by shooting in Moses Lake and a celebration held in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. What's happening in sports, Bob?
Tonight in sports, find out what Richard Sherman's parents think about all the hype surrounding their son. What's going on with the weather tonight?
And coming up here in the Weather Center, we're taking a look at no big changes. Morning fog, but nice afternoon temperatures. Details coming up.
All this and more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
A 17-year-old boy was shot twice yesterday as he was riding his bike in Larson. The victim was on the 1200 block of Arlington Drive about 4 p.m. when a white Kia passed him. The car circled around the block and the passenger began shooting at the boy. Grant County Sheriff's Office spokesman Kyle Foreman said the shooter fired multiple times as the boy rode between two houses to escape. The suspect got out of the car, followed the victim, and continued shooting. After the suspect fled the scene, the victim ran to a nearby house and called 911. The victim was hit in the right shoulder and the right forearm. The injuries were not life-threatening, and he was treated at Samaritan Hospital and released, Foreman said. The investigators are not sure whether the shooting was gang-related at this moment. The shooting follows a drive-by shooting on the same block Saturday evening where two parked cars were struck. The church in Moses Lake held a celebration in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. yesterday. Reporter Courtney Vasquez has the story.
That one day my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
The life and legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. lives on in the Moses Lake community. The president of the Martin Luther King Committee, Charlie Jones, says they've celebrated King's birthday for almost 30 years now. Through speeches, singing, and dancing, they reflect on the peace and equality seen throughout the area.
This is part of Moses Lake. Moses Lake is a melting pot of America. We've brought all qualities and kinds of people into this community, and we've molded it together.
Children gave examples of anti-bullying, reminding others to stand up for what's right. Community members were also reminded to join together to help one another.
City of Moses Lake, and you're just traveling along the way, or you're at Walmart or wherever you're at. A lot of times if you just stop sometimes and give the person that passing just a smile goes a long way. So I would encourage Moses Lake to continue to show that smile, because your smile can help somebody else out along the way.
Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday is on January 15th. He would have been 85 this year. For iFIBER 1 News, I'm Courtney Vasquez.
Thank you, Courtney. The man who attacked his wife and a Grant County Sheriff's deputy is facing prison. Corey Minitani, a 41-year-old Moses Lake man, pleaded guilty in Grant County Superior Court to assault in the first degree and assault in the third degree. Prosecutors initially charged Minitani with 2 counts of assault in the first degree following the August 2012 incident, but lessened one of the charges as part of the plea agreement. Prosecutor Angus Lee stated Minitani made the officer worried about being stabbed, but it didn't appear Minitani was trying to harm the officer. Lee said it appears he was trying to cause the officer to shoot him. He was successful in that regard, as he was shot once in the chest by the responding officer. Minitani has no previous criminal history. Prosecutors plan to ask for a 10-year prison sentence.
Each of the people you see here has warrants for their arrest and is wanted by various law enforcement agencies. If you see any of these people, the Department of Corrections asks that you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but to call police. You can also call the Department of Corrections at 509-764-6180 during the day, or 509-762-1160 after 5 p.m.
We'll be right back after this.